So, Ragnarok having had a lot of success versus Trap recently. Wondering if that will translate right here. Or if we're gonna have ourselves something else entirely. Let's see. To be honest, the matches he was playing, I was trying to pay attention, but I was doing some other stuff as well. I get distracted quickly, guys. When I'm not casting it, it's very difficult for me to focus on the esports as much. That's why I like casting it, I guess, because it really gives me just full-on control, full focus on what's happening. Yet still, I miss most. Well, you know, we do miss some stuff now and again. What's this probe up to? Just hiding out, waiting to see if that third base will be put down here, or if there's going to be a sneaky something else tech-wise. Sees the drone. It's got to satisfy his curiosity. We'll have the adapted handle the rest of the curiosity here. Trying to find those Zerglings. Zerglings quickly retreated themselves to the safety of the creep. He's got himself 3 more Zerglings here. Did he split up 3-3? Yeah, he did. Very cool. 3 Zerglings in each. It's the adapt, you know, just kind of getting himself familiar with the surroundings. It's like, alright, still making drones. Still making a good amount of drones. Yep. Nothing else are hiding out in your main base. He's got himself the 2 adepts pretty soon. But I don't think he can get much done. It looks like the defense of Ragnarok seems pretty solid so far. And with Zergling speed finishing up pretty, yeah, at this moment actually. He may want to consider... Oh, actually does go for it. We'll pick off 2, 3. Is it going to be 4? Yes, it is. 4 drones. With the initial 2 little adapts now coming in with the Oracle as well. More harassments. Doesn't get too much more with that though, unfortunately for him. Does he? No. Not really. It's a fair start. Is it worth, you know, having your 3rd cancelled over? I'm not entirely certain. Is he going to have his 3rd cancelled? I think it will. Yeah, there we are. A couple of adepts. Probably don't want to fight that as much with the Zerglings, but he's a bit preoccupied with the stasis ward. And in fact, he was trying to commit with the Zerglings here. Interesting. Sometimes you miss what you're casting about. That's a bummer. Was that me? Yeah, I guess that was me as well. Like this, Overlord. I imagine that was an Overlord. Very good placement with those queens. Great map awareness from Ragnarok. See if that keeps a hold overall. Another queen pushed into the stasis ward though. A little bit tricksy. Rag spending a lot of money for his overall defense though. He's got himself 4 spore crawlers. Right, yeah, 4 of them in total. Doesn't have that many queens on the natural base, only 2, right? So, should be entirely free from any Oracle damage here. Roach Warren and Lair coming up, 4th base. Most likely will start to experience the mid-game to late game. More blink coming up for Hero, as well as quite a couple of gateways here. He's got himself the sentry, so he will try to get a cancel or a kill on that 4th base right here. It's a great little timing attack before the Zerg really has anything of the lair available. And he's just dealing with the Zergling roach kind of army. A couple of queens in there as well, of course. But the sentries just deal so efficiently against those types of units. Even with a low quantity of them, you can bully your way into all sorts of situations like that one, right? Great cancellation forced on that 4th base. And he can just kind of back out of here. There's no need for him to do anything else. Unless if there was another 4th base being built somewhere else, you could try to force his hand there. But right now, I don't... Oh, he's also spread out a little bit here. Okay, does get his units back together. Is he looking for a fight? I don't know if he should. More units are coming in, though. Wants to get another cancel on the 4th? So very aggressive. Ragnarok had a lot of time to just build units, though, so... He's got the Ravagers to deal with the force fields. His stasis over here. Another cancel is forced on the 4th base, though, to be fair. Did Hero accomplish what he set out to do, or is he going to stick around here for even longer now? He's grabbing himself another a 4th base as well. Actually, quite far ahead now of the Zerg. Continuing to roam around near the Zerg's base. As Mutalisk will be the response brought out to the table by Ragnarok. Could be fantastic, it could be abysmal. It's like a quick gander at the Protoss bases. How much static defense do we have over there? It's not too much. The numbers of Mutalisk, about 10 of them. Should be able to deal with those things. Fly around it a little bit here and there. Mutalisk do get spotted though by these sentries and the Zealot run by. Maybe the other way around. Another cancel on that 4th base. Things are starting to look a little bit desperate now for Ragnarok. He will require to do something here to either get himself into an economic foothold that is on comparison to Heroes, or, you know, take Hero down a peg himself. Using a queen as well. 2 stasis over here. Just being an absolute bother. Hero is playing this phenomenally well, but it is still a question on whether or not these Mutalisks can get anything done here. Phoenix already available. Oracles. Hello. Decides to ignore them for now. Perhaps preoccupied with destroying the rooks and getting his ground army in a position to try and make something happen here as well. It's kind of nice to see that the Mutalisk made Hero respond in kind with Phoenix. So the ground armies for both these players are still very similar in a sense, tech-wise, right? It is still just Gateway Army versus the Roach, Ravager, Ling, Baneling. Now there's a couple of Mutalisk in there, which are a bit higher tier, but that's about it. And this is now going to be enough for Ragnarok. I don't really like the position he's taking here. A massive arc of those Starkers dealing a lot of damage overall. The shield battery overcharge looking perfectly fine. The Mutalisk are, well, dealing with the Phoenix a little bit. Are they dealing with the Phoenix? No, they're not. One shield battery. Rule them all. Losing the Mutalisk now. So I think we're going to see the GG come out pretty soon here. Hero's just going to walk across the map now, isn't he? Army supply for Ragnarok still looking pretty sharp, but it hasn't really been that sharp so far. There we go. GG is called. First game going to Hero. Game number 2. In the top left side, a man that knows how to control his opponents. A blue Protoss player fighting for Dragon Phoenix Gamers. Hero. Bottom right side, his opponents. From ITaX, the Red Zerg. RAGNAROK. No run-bys. The mutas did nothing either. Yeah, maybe run-bys could have been a thing. Maybe. I imagine RAGNAROK just wasn't aware either at the pace of which Hero was taking new bases with, right? Oh, hiding the drone. Let's get spotted here. There's a spawning pool first, guys. There is going to be a spawning pool first. Hero looks like he is aware of the fact, or at least he's aware of the possibility here. Looking to, there we go, another gateway. Now that is already an investment from Hero here, slowing down his own economy as well, in order to ensure safety against any Zergling attacks. Now, RAGNAROK doesn't have to immediately jump on the Zergling production here. In fact, we're seeing drones back on the menu, boys. So, is after that scout not going to commit to anything here? Thinking back on that previous game, I'm wondering, like, the run-bys as well, right? If, with that amount of gateways available for Hero, what do you really have for RAGNAROK to send across the map? You could send a big flock of Zerglings, but a couple of adepts well placed near the Nexus and the pylon and mineral fields and stuff, you know, that is gonna take care of it. Maybe a Baneling run-by here and there? Into some probe lines? Maybe. Perhaps anticipating he would have been able to deal with that Protoss army. Twilight Council, once more, the tech choice here from Hero. RAGNAROK having his two bases close together, so, you know, you can have one big flock of Zerglings instead of the two separate. But he did make himself quite a few more Zerglings than he did previously. He's still making more Zerglings as well. He really doesn't want to take any damage here from these adepts. I guess he did realize there was a double gateway opening, so that must be the reason why. And in fact, we see glaives on the production. Something a lot of people are quite heavily against. RAGNAROK kinda trying to hide his Zergling numbers here as well. We'll be heading across the map. Decides to play it safe, not allow those adepts to get back across to his side of the map. Zerg's side of the map. What's the score between Bjorn and Zest? Bjorn won 3-0. Just mass Baneling run by all game long. Yeah, that makes sense. It's the one thing you have. Okay. There they are. Look at them pretties. Quite a few adepts. Will it be enough? RAGNAROK on 40 workers. That mineral patch he took out of the wall right there, actually kind of allowing these adepts another pathway in. There's got to be careful. Third base only occupied by 2 drones at the moment. Oh, adepts going for it. Are they going into the main base? Yes, they are. Getting stuck right there. Maybe taking a wrong turn. Still managed to wiggle their way behind the mineral field off the second base. Starting to get a couple of those drones. Shade being brought out, and the War Prism kind of being zoned out of the equation as well. This is going to be all the adapts bring to the table. 4 drone kills for the time being. Oh, wait, no, that is more. 5 drone kills. There we go. Getting up to 6 now. Some drones being sacrificed by RAGNAROK on the waypoint right there towards the adepts. Happens to the best of us. Right. Yeah, Heroes 2 base. Kind of defensive setup here. Wondering what his next step is going to be. Could it be trying to go into something like Disruptor drops? That is a common follow-up after this. But you're kind of hoping to deal massive damage at one point. Kind of get a real swing in the game going. Rather than just, you know, trying to play it out on a more equal footing. Let's see. Still quite a lot of roaches and zerglings being produced right here. No 4th base for RAGNAROK yet been acquired. Looks like we are gonna have him starting to push out across the map right here, trying to finish off this game after the failed aggression with the adepts. Is that going to be the right call? Breaking out the rocks in absolute vision range of his opponent right here. Gets the observer with the bile. That is fair. There it is. Disruptors. And the War Prism speed. RAGNAROK. Okay, no, there we do have that 4th base coming up. Another War Prism taking action here as well. There we are. Ooh. 2 drones. It's something. It is something. A slow start, but that's where you're gonna have to start, right? Yeah, not much to be done here. RAGNAROK painfully aware about the intentions and not looking forward to the outcome. So he wants to minimize that as much as possible. Nope. Oh. This is a bit silly. Oh! Oh my god! What? What? 11 drones! He's just flying across the Zerg base for like half a minute, and then out of nowhere, it's suddenly like, kablam! 11 drones down. Wow, that was something else. Holy smokes. That was nuts. Oh, he's back at it. Alright, let's follow this. This is just funny. This is an enormous Zerg army. Just how much micro is required from RAGNAROK trying to keep up with this? Like, he has to send units every time to like all these locations on the top and the bottom of the ramp, and oh my dear lord, I do not envy his position here. I don't get how the queens are not more involved with this, right? Normally you would have the queens kind of in positions to stop this War Prism from rotating like this, but how many queens do we have? It's only 4 of them, alright. This is starting to make sense now. This is why we see so many queens whenever the Zergs are playing. This is why. It's still here. It's still just making circles. Ooh, no. That was not going to be the same. His trick didn't work this time. The one War Prism making the whole army busy. Yeah, it is. Whew. How is he getting so much value here? Oh. 4 more. Bit by bit. He was in a bad position before, but now I just feel like he is, he's just winning. He's just straight up winning. We'll need Vipers, I feel like, for a real engagement here against these Disruptors. Oh, that is so many kills. 39 kills on this one Disruptor right now. 39. Let's hope he can make it a 50 eventually. Oh, dear. No, that is gone. It is gone. Still a massive assault and battery coming through from RAGNAROK. Is it going to be enough? I don't think so. There's just so much still in the way over the Protoss right here. All those gateway forces, the War Prism ready to juggle whatever is getting low and is valuable enough to be juggled. Blinking forwards a bit aggressively. Gonna lose 1 or 2 Stalkers perhaps, not even that. 13 probes go down. RAGNAROK is now in a bit of a pickle where the quite ever so advanced army of Hero is barging down his doorway. And the same amount of supply, well actually now much less amount of supply available here for RAGNAROK of a much less technologically complicated army. We may have ourselves a 2-0 any second here. Couple of Banelings, last desperate attempts. Nope. Nope. I got pretty good connections, but it was just too much. Just too much. GG. And again, the way I felt like the RAGNAROK managed to do so well in his previous series in the GSL was because he did have fantastic planning. Right? It felt like that is where he won the game overall. And Hero's just making him play whichever game Hero wants to play. Hero's just being aggressive in his face. It's like, no, you're committing to the Zergling Roach Ravager army here because, you know what, we got all these gateway units right in front of your door. Ready to do all sorts of horrific things to your economy if you don't pay attention. And, yeah. Yeah, RAGNAROK just kind of stumped. And then that one War Prism. I don't understand. War Prism of the year. It really was. It's a War Prism, not a Warp Prism. Really? Really? I'm gonna say it is a Warp Prism anyway. I refuse. I refuse your linguistics. Man, I mean, how often have we seen someone going for a Disruptor drop with a War Prism after not doing as much with their Adept Pressure, right? I've seen it so many times. And it never feels like, you know, it's really getting everything. It always feels like it's getting some stuff done, but it's just not enough. It always feels like it falls short. And perhaps that's because people try too hard to get the shots rather than just flying around threatening the shot. Right? Sure, he got himself the 11 drones and then, what was it, 4 more drones, but that's all he got. If that's all he got for all that micro and all that time investment, probably wouldn't have been that great. But because RAGNAROK was just so incredibly busy trying to chase down his War Prism and not lose more drones consistently, man. It was a weird game. Alright, what's happening in this game? I'm still baffled by that previous one. How well Hero played that. That was fantastic. Alright, getting 4 little drones there as well with the initial Oracle. Second Oracle gonna try to deal with the Zerglings here. That's a lot of Zerglings. Does force the cancellation of the third base. Finally, Ragnarok, the one kind of determining the pace of his opponent rather than the other way around. Then again, losing, what was it, the 4 drones normally might not be the worst case. But because he also went for quite the investment into Zerglings here, I'm not sure if it is, if it's not that much of a big deal in this case, right? I feel like those 4 drones become a lot more valuable of kills after that Zergling squadron being spawned. 3 queens and a spore crawler. That should provide safety for the oracles, but what about the main base? 3 queens and a spore crawler. A natural base, only 1 spore crawler. And that means 6 more drones. That's rough. I guess he could have had 2 queens and a spore crawler in each base, right? Hero's just so good at his positioning and just playing on the map for space. His maneuvering is just phenomenal. It's so nice to see. Kind of darting around, going here, going there. It's like, alright. Look at that. He's going to keep this alive. That's so clean. That is so clean. Alright. Roach Warren? Lair? Familiar sounds? I think so. Will he be stuck on them again here? Gateway forces are going to be assembled by Hero. It might be an indication that we're gonna have, once again, a bit of a similar... Oh dear. What was that? Was it done? I'm not entirely certain if it was done. Huh. Well, I think Ragnarok is dead. I think he's dead. The whales of Protoss are coming. Zappity zap. Adapts in your natural. Here we go. He's going to try to deal with those, but on the other side, the Zealots, sentries. Actually, there is a fair bit of Zerg here, as long as the transfusions, perhaps. No? Oh dear, that is looking bad. The Queen's in disarray, absolute panic in the eyes, trying to scramble across the battlefield as Phobos takes control. No, he does hold. He does hold. He does hold. Look at that. Okay. No, I thought that would be it. I did think that would be it, but I don't know what I'm talking about. Huh. Very nice, very nice. Good control there from Ragnarok, right? Sending those adepts out towards the natural base of, you know, it's a bit of a gamble, I guess, in that situation. Does force the Zerg to split up as well. But Ragnarok, yeah, handling that very, very nicely. Splitting up pretty much perfectly. Looking at the damage he sustained there. His economy isn't the greatest just quite yet, but I mean, at least Hero isn't a base ahead of him, right? How many queens survived? 6 queens. Oh, now on them. I guess he's been reproducing them. It's hard to say. That's Stasis Ward as well over here. Ragnarok seems confused by it. Maybe in... something that could be interesting to watch the replay on. Gets another one. Starting to get ready for another attack here as well. Blink not quite there, but there is a lot of charge Zealots. Is that going to be enough? Biles kind of forcing the Zealots backwards here from the offensive, and I don't think this is going to work, Hero. I don't think this is going to work. This phenomenal micro not working out that well with Zealots, it looks like. Turning around. Interesting. There we go. That's lovely. Okay. Okay, game number 4. That's right. Ragnarok does it. Doesn't he? Does he? If he fails now, that would be utterly gut-wrenching. Deals with the Zealot run-by, gets the War Prism as well. I don't see any War Prism here anymore, so I assume he killed it. No, it should still be alive, actually. Where is it? Oh, there it is. There it is. 5 drones. It's gonna continue. It's gonna continue. This game will continue. I don't think Ragnarok realizes... Or maybe he does. He is running across the map. 100 army supply strong versus 27. But he's taking his time. And oh, he's running back. The War Prism. Buying more time. Hero. You mad lad. It's gonna continue, guys. It will continue. This man and his War Prisms. Am I right? This is fantastically silly. Oh. Oh, no! No! Not the War Prism! It lives. Right, we still got a shot at this. Hero can do this. He's got it. Look at all those disruptors. That's gotta count for something. Hero skipping upgrades. He is on +2 weapons. Overall. There is the attack. Where are the disruptors? Disruptors a little bit off on the side. One disruptor from the natural base does get a couple of roaches on his kill counts. Let's see if this is going to be good hits. And actually they are fairly good. It's now going to be enough to deal with the rest of the Zerg army. I think it might be. That Zealot Warp in the natural is going to deal with those units right there, trying to deal probe damage. 10 probes did fall, but the worker count overall still equal. And guess what? Hero is getting himself a Nexus. In all that stress, all that time when I thought he would die because he had less than a fourth of the army supply than his opponents, he is expanding. He's getting more bases. He's like, screw it, let's just do War Prism harassment. Let's get all of that going. And now he's back at it again. He's on the other side of the field. More disruptor shots are coming in. I thought both of these players were dead at a certain point in time, but I think this might be the final straw. Once again, and once again I could be wrong, as Banelings do manage to get a couple of good hits in there as well. Retaliation from the Zerg. And then again, the overall offensive here does have to be halted also. Going for the Queens, prioritizing those healing units, now getting just the best disruptor shots I've seen in a while. Just one after another. That's got to be it. That has got to be it. GG is called. What an insane game. What an absolutely insane game.